Hello, today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be looking at R values of correlation. So we've already talked a little bit about R values in the past. And so we did that in our last lesson. We talked about what values of R make a data set a strong correlation, negative correlation, no correlation, positive, strong, moderate, weak, positive, negative, none, all of those things. And I have those same values up there at the top of the screen for us to look at. That'll be part of what we're going to do today, but today we're actually going to find R values. Instead of just being given, for instance, R equals 0.49, you're going to be finding R yourself. So the way we find R is you're always going to be given a table of values, like this one you see here about ice cream sales versus temperature. And so when you have something like that, you can take that table and put it into Desmos. And what I have here are just some screenshots of how you do this in Desmos. The way we make a table is we hit this plus sign here, we hit table, and then from there it gives you a place to type in the table. I'm not going to do this problem right now because I already have it worked out for you. If we scroll down here, after you hit table, you type in this, looks kind of like an equation but with a squiggle instead of an equal sign, y1 squiggle or tilde, x1 plus b. And it won't do anything for us right now, but if you have a table with numbers in it, it'll pop up all these things like r squared, r, m, e1, and b. Eventually, we'll care about m and b, but for today, all we're going to focus on is r, not r squared, just regular r. So that'll be how you find an r value. There's a lot of hidden math in the background. We're not going to worry about how we get all that. It's a bunch of complex formulas. Desmos is going to do that for us. Instead, we are going to use Desmos to help us find those r values and then classify data today. Let's take a look at some example problems. So for this first one, we have a table that involves hours, number of hours studied, and the test score. And so let's take a look at putting that table into Desmos. To get that table, we hit the plus sign, we hit table, and then we start typing our x values into x1 and our y values into y1. I like to type in all of my x's first, and you can just hit enter to get down to the next one. And then I like to do my y's, but if you like to do x and then y for each point at the same time, it doesn't matter as long as you're really careful and you make sure you get all of the right numbers typed in. Okay, I've got my x's in, so now I'm going to type in my y's. Notice as you're typing, some points are popping up. They'll kind of keep changing as you are typing your numbers in. We'll talk more about the points in the line that you get in the future. For now, let's just get all of our points into our happy little table here. Okay, so now I have all my points in. If you want to zoom in on your graph, you can see all the points that you get. Not very important for what we're going to do today. What's really important for what we're going to do is once you have a table, you need to type in that equation that has a tilde or squiggle instead of an equal sign. That will tell Desmos, please find R for us. So the way we do that is go to the next place under your table, and you type in y1. It'll automatically make the one a little subscript. To get that squiggle or tilde, you hit your ABC button. It's in the bottom row next to the comma. M, x1, plus, back to your letters to get B. You have to have every single part of that equation correct, or Desmos will not tell you the right information. Now we can see a line that's near our points. We'll talk more about that line in the future. All we care about for today is that R value, which is R equals 0.9222. And so I'm going to actually write my answers down here. For number 1, my R value is 0.9222. And then for my correlation, we're going to talk about strong, moderate, or weak, positive, negative, or none. That is very close to positive 1, and so it's going to be a positive correlation. It's a positive number, and 0.92 would fall in the strong category. So we would call this a strong positive correlation. Let's try one more. So something you can do to save yourself some time, as long as you've got this equation type thing typed in correctly, what you can do is you can just go back into your table and hit your backspace or delete key to make your table go away. And now we're going to enter in our new table. This table looks kind of sideways. Whenever you see a sideways table, the top row is your x's, your bottom row is your y's. So what we've got going on here is absences or x's. So I'm going to start typing those in. Again, I like to do my x's all at once, but you can do things in whatever order makes sense to you. Notice that sometimes Desmos gives you suggested numbers. So if it gives you a number you don't like, just keep typing and ignore it and it will go away. This data set's a little bit longer, so it's going to take me a little bit longer to type in. Okay, that should be all my x's. Now scroll back up, let's type in our y's. And like I said in the past, you can see the lines start to pop up in some points. Ignore that until you're completely done. Okay, so now I have my whole table in. As long as you already kept your equation in there, you don't have to type it again. But if you deleted it, remember you have to do y1 squiggle mx1 plus b. And then from there, Desmos gives you all the information you need. So this time, r is looking at r, not r squared, but r, negative 0.7407. And then let's talk about our correlation. It is a negative number, so it's going to be a negative correlation. Strong negatives are between -1 and -0.67, which -0.74 fits in. So this one is a strong negative this time. We'll do more in the future with some of these other things that pop up with when you type in that y1 squiggle mx1 plus b. We'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about the line. But today all we're doing is finding r and the type of correlation. Have a wonderful day.